as well, and we saw how things went. And now others are preparing for the Karoli Volleyball Championship in Eldoret. And now to mash up this everything together, we have a man behind me here pictured as Fernando Manyala. Fernando Manyala is the ambassador for the World AIDS Day Half Marathon, which is happening on Sunday, the 1st of December. And we're celebrating the achievement that have been made so far. But in studio, joining me to celebrate and talk about this is Mr. Douglas Bosire. Douglas Bosire is the regional coordinator, regional director of the NSDCC. That's here to ensure that he tells us what's happening on Sunday and why should you come in. By the way, Douglas, karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you.
Good to have you today in studio.
Thank you.
How do you feel being here?
No, it feels great. And it's a change from what we normally do, because normally we frequent a health segment. So it's the first time that we are coming to a sports segment, and I think it's very good collaboration and very good synergy.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Let's begin, by the way. We've been talking about HIV and AIDS for quite some time.
Yes.
And we've seen the numbers are going up every other time.
Yes.
Trying to bring them down in one way or the other. You've tried in many ways, but now, why sports?
Well, let me say, as Kenya as a country, we have actually done fairly well in terms of ending AIDS as a public health threat. If you look at our statistics over the last 10 years, over the last decade, we have been able to reduce the number of new infections by almost 83%. We have reduced the number of deaths by almost 65%. We have doubled the number of people living with HIV who are on antiretroviral treatment from about 600,000 to about 1.3 million. And this has made people live longer, have a healthy life, and become economically productive for their families, themselves, and the society. However, there are segments of our population whom we see we are living behind. And one of those segments are men and boys. Because if you look at, for example, the testing rate, the uptake of testing for HIV, in the month, between the month of July and September this year, only out of the total number of people who are tested for HIV, only 27% were men and boys. 73% were women and girls. If you look at, in terms of the number of deaths, you find that whereas 35% of the people living with HIV are the ones who are men, but in terms of death, it's almost 50-50. So proportionately, more men are dying than women, despite the fact that more men, lesser men are living with the virus. So it's a concern for us, and we ask ourselves, how can we create a platform where we get men and boys to come out and talk about their issues, Jeff? And that's why we decided let us leverage the rich cultural heritage of the country in athletics, because men participate very heavily and strongly in athletics. So we thought let's do it through half marathon in Nairobi and some road races and across the 47 counties. By the way, the event will be marked across all the 47 counties.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
But how crucial is sports? Because so many people have used this vehicle of sports or avenue of sports to get where they wanted to be.
Exactly.
And some have achieved, some have failed.
Yes.
How crucial is it to ensure that you get the result that you need?
If you look at this year's theme, it's dubbed A Race Against Time. We have committed as a country to end AIDS as a public health threat by the year 2030. Although His Excellency the President has given us a closer target among children to end AIDS in children by 2027. We are realizing that since the first case of HIV was diagnosed in this country in 1984, and 2030 is barely 6 years away, we have to race. What a better way to demonstrate that race than having a marathon, where marathons are providing vivid examples of success in terms of speed. So we are saying, let us reinvest our energies, let us refocus our efforts and go this last mile. Sports as well galvanize societies. They bring all age segments together.
True.
Sports make us forget that you are this tribe or you are the other tribe. If you go to the stadium when Kenya is running, we all sing and unite as one. So it's a source of pride for the country. So we want to ride on this source of pride so that also we can win this battle that we have had for the last almost 40 years, so that we can concentrate on other issues of national development and not investing almost 25 billion Kenya shillings per year on are buying commodities for treatment of HIV-related illnesses.
What were the challenges that you were facing before you got into sports?
Well, the men and boys, we did not have a proper system of reaching out to them. There is also a segment of a young population, because as we go forward, we are noticing, like, for example, last year, about 41% of the new HIV infections took place, occurred among adults, adolescents and young persons aged between 15 and 24. When you open that bracket a little bit to 15 to 34 years, you find 75% of all the adult new HIV infections occurred among that cohort. These are young people. So for us, the forums that we have been using before, the traditional forums within our space of health, seem that they will not give us the final kick that we want. And therefore, we need to go to where this young population is. And this young cohort, you find them in sports. In fact, we have found a lot of passion and interest when we started talking about marathons. If you look at the registrations, if you look at the inquiries that we are getting, the young people are really excited that this year we are doing something that addresses their concerns, and the men as well. Yes.
How many people have registered so far? So as we talk right now, and probably before Sunday,
yes,
what will be your target?
Yes. So far, we have about 6,000 who have already registered. Yeah, and we are looking at it through platforms such as this that you provide us, Jeff, to increase that number to 10,000 and above. And we have made arrangements. We have been working together with Athletes Kenya. As I've come here, I'm just from the office. And we had a joint meeting with the AK. We had the Kenya Police, National Police Service being represented, the Ministry of Interior, the State Departments of Kenya National Highways Authority, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, the County Government of Nairobi, the Ministry of Health. All of us were there in synchrony so that we can put in place, fine-tune the final plans and ensure that all these races, because we have planned for about 7 races. We're having a 21-kilometer half marathon, which is competitive. We're having a 10-kilometer competitive as well. Yeah. We're having a 10-kilometer wheelchair race because we need to be inclusive. Exactly, and bring in people with disabilities. Yeah. We're having a 5-kilometer corporate challenge. You as the standard group, you as KTN, you can register and enter as a corporate entity.
I can do 21, by the way.
You can do 21?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward. And then we have a 5-kilometer family fun run.
Yeah.
We have a 2-kilometer for the chief executives, because we know the chief executives are a bit busy.
Yeah.
So we have also something for them.
5 kilometers.
A meet and it's a 2-kilometer.
2 kilometers.
Yeah, it's a meet and greet. You know, they walk and greet each other, and because they network. And also we have 2K for the children.
I think that will be best for karaoke. You know karaoke, Daniel Karaoke?
Yes,
yes. One of the chief executives.
Oh, okay.
So he can do 2.
Is it coming?
You can do 1.5.
1.5?
Probably.
No. Maybe. Minimum is 2. Tell him minimum is 2.
But how much is it like, if I'm going to be there and I'm going to win, how much am I expecting?
Well, if you win the 21K that you're going for, you will walk home with a cool 500,000 shillings.
Wow.
Yes. Number 2 will walk home with 200,000, and number 3 will walk home with 100,000.
What about 42? That's what the target is.
No, we don't have a 42K. We have 21 kilometers.
But it's a half marathon. It's 21.
Yes, it's half a marathon.
And for 10 kilometers?
Yeah, for 10 kilometers, the winner will take home 150. The runner-up will take home 100, and the second runner-up will take home 70.
70.
Yes.
Probably just my final question before, because of time.
Yes.
You have marked out athletics as one of the avenues that you're going to use.
Correct.
Probably there are other sports.
Yes.
There are people who don't run specifically, but they love sports. They love golf. They love football. They love other sports, volleyball.
Yes.
How are you going to reach out to them?
No, for us, actually, even as we're speaking, we are using this connection of athletics to reach out to the other the other supporters, the other fans of the other games. For example, we have a group of young men who call themselves Football KE. They're the ones who have been promoting this marathon in their space.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And also the other, various groups of sport enthusiasts. Let me say that to end AIDS, we need a multi-sectoral approach. We will not do it alone as the health sector. And those platforms of sports that are available, they offer us a platform. Whichever platform of sport is there, whichever form of sport is there, it's a rich platform for us because AIDS is everywhere. AIDS lives with us in human beings, HIV rather. It lives with us in human beings. So when you move around, you're moving around with the virus. So there is no opportunity that there is no chance, or there is no game that does not give us an opportunity to progress and advance this discussion. And that's what we are going to be doing. And when we started working with the sports journalists, I must appreciate. We started this about a month ago when we thought about this marathon. We have seen even the coverage and the discussions around HIV and AIDS coming out from a different angle. Because there is a direct correlation between sports, because sports keep people away from these other bad behaviors, from being idle, and we have, if you go to our prisons, for example, you'll find 87% of those who are incarcerated are men and boys. And why are they there? They are there for petty offenses, for issues of drug and alcohol abuse. When you give them a sports activity to do, it will take away their mind from one time, and yes, you have saved them. Yeah. So,
but as we end up, 21 kilometers. How much is registration for all the races?
I can take you quickly through that. Actually, people are not paying for the race, but people are just paying a small amount to assist us to provide the t-shirt or the running kit that we'll give them. For adults like you and me, above 18, I do know that you're above 18, otherwise you'll not be working here. We are paying 1,500. And for our children, 18 and below, they're paying 1,000. However, we have communities of people that we work with, and our anchor communities are persons or people living with HIV.
Nice.
And some of them might not be able to register with 1,000 or 1,500. So we are giving special consideration also to those groups, so that we do not do this, we do not lose their presence, but they are there and they lead from the front.
That would be nice.
Yes.
So when is the deadline?
The deadline for registration is tomorrow, Friday. Yeah, because on Saturday we want to distribute all the kits, and most of the kits will be distributed from Nyayo Stadium and our offices at Landmark Plaza and other places which we'll announce. But the deadline is tomorrow because we are not allowed to distribute kits on the material day.
Right. Yes. Your final word as we end up.
My final word is, Jeff, see you there. Na Wakenya wote tukutane Nyayo Sunday.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osire, for showing up. Even as we wind up this interview, there are two stories that I want to do about it. Like my director, Makanyumba, make sure that you register for this. This is very important for you, Makanyumba. You must be there. Also ensure that you pay just 1,500 shillings. It's not too much money.